The reason I decided to do this class is because, as you know, things are really kind of crazy and uncertain. And even as far as 2 weeks ago, when I decided to put this class on, things have changed since then. So we're going to give you kind of a snapshot update of where the market is right now, kind of what that means for sellers, and what should you do if you are wanting to sell your home, kind of navigating things as we're dealing with COVID-19. So just a little introduction. So my name is Emily Hayes. My husband, Todd Hayes, and I work as a team. He is also a licensed agent, and our assistant, Becky Espenson, who's on this call today, also works with us as well. Last year, we helped 55 families buy and sell real estate. We've been working in the industry for about 5 years, have a lot of experience selling homes, and we are really education focused. So we've been doing a lot of more classes just to help people understand what their options are, which is really important to us, that people make educated decisions and not reactive decisions. So today what we're going to cover, we're going to answer all your burning questions about selling during COVID-19. So including, so I want to sell, what should I do? Should I wait it out? I need to sell, what do I do? Are there even any buyers out there right now? How can you safely show your home with COVID-19? And should you make repairs or upgrades before selling homes? That's a question I get a lot, and that's one that I'm really excited to dive into. How much should you price your home for when you list it? What kind of marketing should you do for your home? And can you sell your property, like an investment property, if you have tenants? And then what questions should you be asking an agent as you're interviewing them to get your home sold? And then of course, question and answers at the end. So what we're seeing right now is we are seeing a positive growing market in Utah still. Right here, we've got active listings. So if you guys see, last year versus this year is quite a bit of a difference in inventory. So what that means is when we have more homes on the market and we have less buyers, that tends to lend itself to like more of a trending down or more of a equal market where it's just as many buyers as there are sellers. So the prices tend to be more stagnated. When we have a inventory issue, which we have right now, if you notice this line here, it says 7,561 homes on the market active on the Wasatch Front today, and we have buyers that are still looking to buy, and there's more buyers than there are sellers, we're going to still see increases in prices, and we're not going to see a downward trend. So right now, the snapshot is showing us right now that the market is still strong here. Another one I wanted to show you is under contract. So this line here is really important to understand if you're looking to sell your home. So if you look at the market stats from last year, we had about 7,507 under contract on May 5th. Right now we have 7,737. That is more than the active homes on the market. And if you look at last year's data, 8,850 active, 7,500 that were under contract. That actually is, if I'm looking at that just today and I'm looking at where things are at, it would almost show to me that things are trending up even higher than it was last year. Now, that could change tomorrow, that could change at any moment. There could be a ton of homes that come on the market in the next month, which I am anticipating more people listing in the next month, which is typical of a spring market. But this is just an important number to see when people are talking about the sky is falling, we're all gonna be in a huge recession, which like I said, it might happen, but with selling your home and the real estate market, we're a little bit more steady and a little bit more insulated just because we have more people that are needing homes than there are homes on the market in Utah. So should you wait it out? I am saying no, I don't think you should wait it out. I say that because we only can tell what's happening at this moment in time. We don't know what's going to happen in a year. And one question I've been getting asked is, do you anticipate a lot of foreclosures in the future? I am not anticipating a lot of foreclosures. The reason for that is because people have equity in their homes. So if they are in a situation, which some people are, where they have been laid off, they can't pay their mortgages, we can sell their homes instead of having to have them go into foreclosure. If you know anyone in a difficult situation, there is opportunity with pulling out equity in your home, as well as selling your home to take the equity out before you're in a situation where the bank will foreclose on you. So I don't anticipate there being a lot of foreclosures. One caveat to that could be in like markets where there's a lot of Airbnb properties, vacation areas, just because those really don't have, it's just obviously travel is shut down right now. So once you decided to sell, what does that mean, especially with the fact that we are living through a pandemic, and there are a lot of things we need to take precautions of. So we've created it's called sanitation station. It's kind of corny. We require all of our people that are going into the home. So any agent that's taking someone through a home, we have them wear little boot covers, or we just have them take off their shoes, not bring in anything from the outside. We have hand sanitizer, Clorox wipes handy, but what we're asking people to do is wear gloves, and the agent is the one to be touching any surfaces, that opening up drawers or doors. We do not want people going around and touching things in our clients' homes to prevent any spread of disease or virus right now. So that's super important to us, and we're reaching out individually to each agent showing the home. We just had a listing go on yesterday, or it was on Tuesday. We had 11 showings yesterday. We reached out to each one of those people to tell them, you know, the instructions on what we needed them to do, and we got it under contract. So it's just an idea of kind of just anecdotal of how the market's doing. It's still moving. And we also do virtual tours of all the properties of those who cannot see it in person. So I'm going to get off this again, stop sharing. I'm gonna go back to my web browser and show you what we're doing. It's called a Matterport tour. So what that is they basically take a outline or a 3D map of your home. So I'm going to click on this. If anybody can't see it, let me know. So this is what we're doing right now that you can have done to your home. And the reason why we're doing it is because we don't want everybody that's just maybe interested in your home to come through. We want serious buyers, especially if you're concerned about people in your home. So, and there are people that are immune compromised who really don't feel comfortable going through people's homes. So this is a kind of, sorry, a little crazy there, but you can actually walk through the home into the kitchen area and really get an idea and a feel for the house. So these are some tools that we have that we're using right now to help us through this whole situation. And then we find this to be really important for all of our clients, especially ones that are concerned or immune compromised. We just want to make sure that everybody feels safe. So, and you can go upstairs, downstairs. It's really cool. If you're interested, I can send this to you. So how do you market your property? So you've decided to sell your home. What are some strategies that you should use? So the most important thing in any market is to price it right. So we don't recommend people overpricing their homes. You can have a home and want to sell it for $1 million, and you can put it on the market for $1 million, but if it's only worth $500,000, that's what people are going to pay for it. And the thing is, when you overprice a home and it sits on the market for a long time, it becomes what's called a stigmatized property, meaning people think that there's something wrong with it. When you've got homes selling typically over a week or two, you don't want to be the house that's been sitting on for 30 days and people are wondering, well, is there something totally wrong with it? You don't want people thinking that. The other thing too is, when you think about that first week that you list your home, that is the most pivotal week, because all the people that are looking at homes that week are ones that have been waiting eagerly by their email every day, waiting for a new property to come up. They're the ones that have already tried to get other properties and have lost out. They're the ones that are most eager to get into a home. So you want to have one of those people offer on your home, because you're typically going to get the highest price at that point. One thing that really helps you get those people in the door is pricing right. So some real estate agents do have pricing strategies where they'll price lower than what the market is bearing at that time, and hoping for multiple offers and bidding the price up. I find that to be a little risky, especially right now, because some weeks are a little slower, some weeks are a little busier. And the one thing you can't do once you price a home is you really can't raise the price. It's a really psychologically people look at that and they're like, what the heck, why did they raise the price? So if you start right where you think the price is going to be, and we kind of help you do that through running comparable properties and looking to see what's selling on the market in your area and where we think the price should be. Once we hit that price, we do a marketing blitz. So it's on every website you can think of. The most important things is having all the eyes on your property, so you have the most people go in that are interested at that time, and you're trying to drive multiple offers. What multiple offers will do is, once there's an offer on the table and a second offer comes in and they know there's an offer on the table, they're going to bring in their best. So maybe that they were, we're going to offer 300, but there's another offer, so now they're going to offer 310, 305. You're driving that price up. So that's really the main goal that we have, is kind of, I don't want to say squeezing every dollar we can out of the home, but basically that's what we're doing, trying to drive the price up as high as we can for the sellers. So that's really, really important to do, pricing it right. Obviously, like you said, we want to list on every website. We have online marketing. This is all stuff your real estate agent should be doing. We have text leads that we put, like text signs on the home. So anybody that's interested in the property that's driving by, they can text for information. We follow up with all of those people and try to make sure that anybody who's interested in the home is getting through to see it right away. We do the virtual tours. If we need to do a private showing, virtual private showing, we can arrange that as well. And again, bringing all eyes on the property, bringing those multiple offers, getting that price up. So one question we get asked a lot is, what home projects should you do before you list your home? So there's a few things that we found have been the most beneficial and bring the most bang for your buck when you're listing your home. The first one is brush paint. So that does not mean you have to paint your whole house. I don't recommend that unless you really feel like it's needed. And that's one thing I can consult with you on, or your realtor can consult with you on, is if that's necessary. So what I recommend is any like ding in the wall, any little paint, like, I don't know, probably see in my back wall, I've got like some marks on the wall. Any marks on the wall, you want people's eyes to go and look at the space. You do not want people fixating on, oh, there's like a lot of scratches that I see. So simply taking some touch-up paint and touching up those areas can be very beneficial, and that can be a super easy fix for you. New flooring. So if you have that ratty old carpet, or if you have a pet that has, stained the carpet, or there's odor in the carpet, new carpet can be an amazing way to bring the value really high on your home. People mentally are discounting in their mind as they're walking through how much this house is going to cost to fix up. I just went through a home yesterday. It was one of the most beautiful views I've ever seen. Draper, $320,000, and the seller or the buyer had really gross carpet, and they just couldn't get past it. And I'm like, well, if you replace the carpet, I think that adds $10,000 worth of value onto this right away. If it had new carpet, I really think they probably would have put in an offer. So that's something to consider. Upgrading fixtures. So if your house was built in the 90s and you have those super special, beautiful 90s fixtures, I would highly recommend replacing them with something that you can get pretty inexpensively from Home Depot or online. And then any damage tells a story. So you want to make sure that people aren't making up a story in their head. That's what I talked about, all the dings on the wall and things. Repairing that stuff makes a big difference. If you have a water leak that you fixed, you want to make sure that everything's patched up and everything looks good. Of course, you're going to disclose that. There's all sorts of things we need to do, but we don't want people to fixate on things and wonder, was this property taken care of or was this not? Updating the bathrooms and kitchens can be really helpful, but I don't want people to go overboard. So it's really on a case-by-case basis, and it depends on the area, depends on the price range, how much effort you should put into this. One thing that I found is, even if you have a kitchen that's straight from the 90s or 70s, or if it's clean and if it looks like you can move in and it's not gross and it's not falling apart, that can overcome a lot. People don't necessarily need nice, new, and upgraded, especially when inventory is low. So I think that, like I said, I wouldn't necessarily feel like you have to put in a brand new kitchen. Sometimes freshening it up with paint or putting on a new countertop, even if that's a laminate countertop, things like that can be inexpensive, easy fixes. And also just putting some fresh plants out there and doing a little bit of staging and nice towels and things like that can make a big difference. So again, with all of this, you know, contact us. We'd be happy to talk you through it and figure out what's going to be the best use of your time and your energy and your money. And yeah, so don't go crazy. But and I talk a little bit, I didn't really talk about backyards, but that's something. It's just, if it's clean and if it's mowed and if the weeds are gone, curb appeal is really important, but I wouldn't spend a ton of money into the yard unless, but again, it's kind of a case by case. So definitely talk to us on that. So now you've done all the painting, you got your new carpet, everything's great. You're super excited, right? So we come in typically and we'll do consultations with people to help you get your home in what we call show ready. People want to buy a model home. Obviously, not every home is a model home, but we want to give that look and feel of that space when people walk in, that they're feeling like, wow, this is just something I can move right into. It feels so good. A lot of purchases with buyers are very emotional. It's emotion driven. So we want to have that really positive feeling that they will get. There's a lot of people that are investors and they're looking at things just purely like, you know, this is the data and information, but most people are not like that. So first we recommend what I call a pre-pack. So pre-packing is basically packing before you have to pack anyway. It's getting all of the things that you don't really need every day, clutter, you know, personal items, things like that, packed beforehand. You can store that stuff in the garage, the basement, get a storage unit, but that's really important that you kind of have like a good clean canvas. That doesn't mean you need to get rid of all your furniture. Staging and having furniture, even if it's old and ratty, is typically better than having a home vacant. Not always, but that does definitely help. Sometimes my clients have moved out already and there's just not an option. They don't want to pay for full staging services, so we don't do that, but don't get rid of your furniture until you talk to me. Once you've got it in that situation, we hire cleaners, and actually our company pays for cleaners to come out. It's one of the perks working with us, because we found it to be so beneficial with getting our listings so quickly. So we'll have them come in, do the kitchen, bathrooms, baseboards, windows, flooring, all that kind of stuff. Because we know at this point you're just so exhausted, you don't want to even think about it. And that's just a super important part, is deep cleaning and that your house is really clean. The next portion is staging. So we utilize, or your agent or stager should utilize, any items that you already have in your home, as well as things that they have. So we have a staging room downstairs that we utilize to be able to, like, IKEA plants and pictures and stuff. I'll take a picture of it and I can send it to you guys to show you kind of the items that we have. And we also love setting the table as well with placemats and some white plates and cups and bowls and things like that. So staging, and then we do professional photography and the 3D video tour. So that's super important that we have really good professional photos. I'm not sure if anybody can comment to listings or that they've looked at online that, like, there's a thumb in the picture, like man sitting in the sofa, or just like crooked. It drives me crazy. I actually used to be a professional photographer, so I'm really picky about that. But those photos are what people are going to draw the people in. So it's super important to have that really good first impression. So how long does it take to list your home? So basically, as fast as you can get the house ready is what it takes. So we can do it really fast. We do prefer a couple of weeks just to make sure we have everything lined up and scheduled. But if you're like, dude, I got to get my house on the market in a week, we'll make it happen. You just gonna have a lot of work to do, potentially. So we'll just make sure, but it's really important that we have it ready to go and that all those things we talked about before are already done before we put your house on the market. So is this a good time for moving up? So is this a good time to sell your current home, take the equity, and bring it, put it into a larger home? I'm going to say absolutely. Like, there's a few reasons for that, which I'll go over, which I'm sure you can see on the screen. It is easier right now than any time in the past 5 years since I started real estate to have a home contingency. I showed you the stats, you know the market is moving, but in the luxury market, it is still a little bit slower. The entry-level market is always going to be crazy busy because it's the most people that can qualify. But if you're wanting to move into a larger home, you might have opportunity that you might not have had a few years ago to sell your home and then make your purchase of your homes contingent on a home sale. So you're not in a situation where you're homeless. So that's something we're doing right now with one of our clients, and it's working beautifully. The interest rates are crazy low. So if you're a numbers person, you'll want to know this. Every 1% increase in interest rate is 11% reduction in purchasing power. So the other thing too to note about this, not only do you get more purchasing power with a lower interest rate, not only is your payment lower, but you're paying off more of that principal balance rather than that the interest. So you're actually building a lot more equity a lot faster. So running the numbers, you might be not paying that much more per month to get into a much larger home right now. So that's something we can help you run the numbers with to see if that makes sense for you. And then what if you're wanting to sell, you're an investor and it's tenant occupied? Exercise caution. We are, like I said, in a pandemic. Sometimes in Utah, it doesn't feel like it because everybody's out and about and they're opening up businesses. But the reality is we are taking a liability when you're having people go through somebody's home that they're renting and they're living in that space. So I always recommend selling an investment property vacant. So once your tenant has left, then you can go through and you can do paint touch-ups, you can do carpet, unless you have a tenant that's a designer and it looks amazing and they're totally fine with you having people come through. That's great, put it on the market. But if that's not your situation, I do recommend waiting just so you have more flexibility on how you show the home, when you show the home, and how it looks. The other thing too is it's just less liability with people coming in and potentially spreading the virus. So if you do need to do it, the pricing strategy will be different. You will not get as much money for your home typically, and like I said, unless your person who lives there is an interior designer and the house looks amazing, which is just not common. It's really important to also be proactive and, just make sure that your client or your tenants have a buy-in on the situation. If right now, people might want to get out of their leases early, so it might be worth just talking to them and say, hey, we're going to list on the market. Can I maybe pay for your last month's rent so we can get it on the market or something like that? Or maybe buy them out of their lease is an option too if you really want to get on the market sooner. I think it could be worth it. But again, everything's on a case-by-case basis, so that's why I'd love to talk to you individually as well if you have specific questions. Okay, so questions to ask an agent. So as you're interviewing agents, you do need to ask some specific questions to make sure they're going to be the right fit for you. So one really important thing right now is what, safety precautions do they have in place? That's vital. You want to make sure that they feel safe, that you feel safe, that the people coming to see your home feel safe. It's very important. What is their marketing plan and how do they plan on getting top dollar for your home? What strategic pricing recommendations do they have? So it varies between agent. I've had people tell me, oh, someone told me I could get like $550 for my house and I'm looking at the comps and it looks about $500. I'm like, well, the market really determines the value of your home, not what you wish your home to sell for. And it's better to sell it quickly for the right price versus letting it sit on, like I talked about before, and become a stigmatized property. So strategic pricing is really important. And then, oh wait, hold on 1 second. So find out what the pricing strategy is. And then what are they going to do to help you prepare to get your home sold? It's really, you're paying a real estate agent to get top dollar for their expertise and to make sure that they're actually providing value for you. So you deserve to get that value out of your real estate agent and make sure that they're doing everything to get you the most money for your home. So we're done with the presentation and I'm gonna have questions next. So recap, takeaways. So the market's still moving, it's still a great time to sell. It's a great time to move up and take advantage of low interest rates and proactively make sure that you're communicating with tenants if you have them. And I should put a last one on there, talk to somebody who can help answer your questions and look at your situation specifically. So thank you. My name is Emily Hayes. Our company is Emily Hayes Homes, and we are just here to help and love to consult. And we're super low pressure. So we're not trying to, put you in a situation that's not going to be good for you, or we're not trying to hard sell you on anything. We just want to help guide people and make sure that they're doing the best that they can for their specific situation. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention, so I'm going to share my screen one more time. We have a home valuation site that we can help you kind of keep up to date with what your house value is. So I'm just gonna pull it up here. So emilyhayeshomes.com/home value. And if you are interested, I think it's really helpful to know kind of where your house is out, where the value is, what your house value is. So you can enter your address here, and then we will get in touch with you and send you a market analysis of what your home's worth, and then send you updates periodically. We typically do once a month, just updates on what homes are selling for in your area. One thing you will need to do is give us your email address so we can actually send you that information, so we can keep you up to date. So if you know anyone who might be interested in this information or is interested in what their home value is, let me know. This can also be beneficial if you're looking to pull equity out of your home, if you're looking to do a refi of your home. We can help you avoid any issues of appraisals by doing some of this work for you. So we're definitely happy to help you with that as well. I'm Emily, and we are your Utah real estate resource, and we're always here to help. So please let us know if there's anything we can do for you right now. And we really, really appreciate you taking the time today and joining us. Bye, guys.